Welcome back to Breadcrumbs for Life. This is Frances, where simple steps lead to real results. And it's Tuesday, so we're going to talk about our health and how our health can align with our values. So, when we talk about values, we're talking about the things that we hold dear to us. That's kind of like our compass, our moral compass. Some values might be our relationships, it might be our family, it might be our money that we make. It might be our job. We may spend a lot of time on the job. And one way to tell what we value is where do we spend most of our time? Where do we spend most of our time? And that would probably define our values. But when we're talking about values, we probably prioritize our health up there pretty high because we want to stay healthy, right? We want to be energetic and to feel good and not hurt, all that stuff. So we probably have health as one of our top three values because if our health goes, it affects so many other things. But a lot of times we don't think about our values when we're making those decisions about our health. We think about our feelings instead. And our feelings control a lot of the things that we do. We don't feel like going to the gym. I can definitely relate to that. We don't feel like eating right. We feel like splurging on ice cream or junk food or takeout rather than feeling like we need to eat right and eat healthier and do the things that will help us to be healthy. So when we focus on our values rather than our feelings, we will have that foundation. We will have that cornerstone, that compass that says, okay, if good health is one of my core values, then I'll probably get up early for a workout and say no to the temptation of chocolate cake. But if we allow our feelings to happen, we'll get up late, we'll skip workout, and we'll just have chocolate cake for breakfast, right? I've been there. I totally get it. I totally get it. That's because our feelings take over in the moment. Our feelings want comfort and convenience and instant gratification. And you know how good that chocolate cake tastes. You know how good it is to eat something that just tastes wonderful. But what happens a few minutes later is we feel bad. We may feel full or bloated. We may feel um, tired or anxious. What we eat matters, and what we eat affects our health. And if we have health as one of our top values, we need to remember that all throughout the day. Because if we want to be successful, we don't need to rely on our feelings. We need to guide our feelings that meet our values. A lot of times we allow our feelings to guide us, but instead we need to act first and then the feelings will follow. Have you ever done that before? Have you just did something that you didn't feel like doing? And once you did it, you're like, wow, I'm glad I did that. And that's what I hear about people that go to the gym because I know that I need to go more often than I do. But when they get to the gym and they're done, they're like, oh, I'm glad I did that. But they probably didn't want to go to the gym that morning. They probably wanted to just stay home or they wanted to skip the gym and go through Starbucks or something. But they acted first because that was the thing that they valued. They valued their health. So, how do we align our actions with our values? It starts with making choices, even when we don't feel like it. For example, if health is a priority for us, and it should be, we need to choose to exercise even when we're tired and resist unhealthy food because we know it doesn't support the value of good health. I'll give you an example. I'm going to a chiropractor who is a holistic chiropractor, and she's got me off gluten. But at Easter, I ate a cupcake, and I was miserable, and it affected a lot of parts of my body. And when I went to her, she said, "What have you done?" Because she could tell that I was off. And I said, "Well, I had a cupcake, and it affected parts of my body." So she gave me an extra workout, and I tell you, the pain she put me through because I had ate something I shouldn't have reminded me, don't do that again because it affects your health when you make those wrong choices. And so living by our values is like running a different race from other people because we're doing what's best for us. even when it's not the easiest thing to do in the moment and not even the popular thing. Because we have people that tell us, hey, come on, let's just go get some donuts, or let's just go skip the gym and go to a movie. We've got these people around us that want us to do things different than what we value. So we've got to keep health as a number one thing for our value. So here's some action steps to take. Identify your top three values. What are the most important things that guide your life? And how does health fit into those values? My values are God, health, and family. And sometimes I don't always show that I value those things, but I truly do. I think about them every day, all three of these things. But sometimes my feelings get in the way, and I'm not going to lie. Sometimes my feelings direct me in the wrong path. So having those three values that you always have on your mind and say, am I doing something to help with my health today? Make a conscious decision today to align one of your health choices with your values. That might mean skipping a sugary snack, or just throw them in the garbage altogether, or committing to 30 minutes of movement even if you don't feel like it. And then look back on the day at the end of the day and see how it felt to look at your values rather than your feelings, and notice how it impacted your mood and your mindset, because mindset is so important. And when we go against our values, man, that can mess up our minds. Our minds can get moody. Our minds can get depressed. We can start thinking these things that Zig Ziglar calls stinking thinking. And that's true. If we don't have our life aligned with our values, we're going to mess up our lives if we allow our feelings to take control. So, breadcrumb for today is live by your values, not your feelings. And that's the key to making better health choices. Until tomorrow, remember, leave a breadcrumb, make a difference. This is Healthy Tuesday, and this is Frances.